Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, one and all Hebrews, Negroes, set apart, those who are of a special possession, God's chosen. This is the Doug Rice Show. I am Doug Rice. Thank you so much for tuning in this impromptu presentation. I did have a show. I did have a show put together. And I intended to do that live tomorrow. I intended to do. I don't know that I still will. I'm still kind of up in the air. But I first and foremost, all praises to the Most High God, Yahuwah, Creator of all things. In the name of Yeshua, His Son, our King. Today was an impromptu live. I was set on recording this particular live. I'm gonna let folks get in here. We're gonna go at 4 o'clock. I had a show. I had a sermon, if you will. I believe that's what I do. The show was called World Desire versus Kingdom Righteousness. Got it all written out, mapped out, ready to go. I had it in the can, if you will. But I am faced today all day, nearly the entire Sabbath, online, back and forth, nearly losing my mind with Hispanics, Latinos, and a few Jews. Yes, some of those that seem to think it's fitting to come to my timeline, my Facebook account, my posts, and vent in the negative and contrary regarding what I say, as if I needed some help and some sway in making up my own conclusions. And they wanted to fill me with their own delusions. And I've had it. I've had it. I've just. I'm as frustrated in trying to convey the thought and idea that I need and to say, and so I decided instead to do a live. I hope only some of you might survive. I've got Tina. I've got the moderator from All Get Out in the crowd, and she's gonna boot whoever gets loud. And she is not gonna play. You better hear what I say. But today I intend to hurt feelings, and anyone who chooses to get in my way will feel the intensity of my fray because I have a lot that I need to say. I am sick and tired of having to deal with individuals so hell bent on including nations that once enslaved and traded Negroes like chattel. The, the, the folks whose ancestors partook in the Spanish Inquisition. And I'm going to tell you and show you which post set me on this mission. Here it is right here, folks. Here it is right here. So this was the post that set me on today's rant. We speak so much on how Christianity whitewashes our history when it comes to the people of the Bible, not realizing that camps are doing the same thing. Now, I'm going to share with you what I wrote in this post so that you see it. I said, this is precisely the reason I cannot stand that self-aggrandized Bishop Nathaniel who pollutes our congregation with the descendants of the same Neanderthals that enslaved Negroes. These European Spaniards are not Hebrews, dressing them up to look like us in these Power Ranger suits don't make them us. 109 comments, folks. 109 comments. 116 now. This has been going on for the better part of 24 hours. A little under 21 hours it shows that I posted this. Now I want you to take a look at what we're looking at, and I'll go full screen so you can see it. I have nothing against this man. I don't know this man. I don't care about what this man does. I had a brother come into this particular thread and tell me how much this man has done for our people. Needless to say, I had to put him in his place, get him out of my face. I expressed to him, I thought this was our people. I thought he was our people. What are you talking about? What he's done for our people? Listen, folks, the title of this live is real simple. The Negro, uniquely set apart. These are not Negroes. I want you to look carefully and closely. I'll say it again. I don't care that he is with IUIC. Again, I have nothing against this individual. I don't know who he is. I know that there are non-Negroes that are freely grafted in once all comes to fruition, once they've come to realize that we are, in fact, God's chosen in his eyes. I understand that. I'm not excluding that I'm not excluding white people from being saved. I'm not even saying that. I've never said that people who are white will not have the opportunity to be all right. I've never said that. I don't really know. I don't really pay attention, if I might mention. It's really not my concern. As far as I'm concerned, they can all burn. And I don't say that, in cruelty. I'm grown now. I've read a few things. I've seen a few things. I know a few things. I know about their history. I know about where they come from. I know about their ancestry. I know about their attitudes, if you will. And these same individuals who claim to be of Negro association have families who can't stand the Negro nation. And we know this. So my thought process is real simple. What does he have to do with the Negro experience? What commonality does this man have in what Negroes have suffered and survived for well over 400 years? Well, let me just say this, because I think it needs to be said. Only the Negro. You hear me? Only the Negro. Only the Negro gets the attention of all the other nations when we say something that doesn't meet their standards. Only the Negro seems to get the lecture and the talk and the correction. Only us, and particularly when it comes to Negro men, when we say something that they don't agree with, suddenly from out of the woodwork, these creatures crawl. And I got a message for one and all. Mind your goddamned business. Talk to people that look like you. We don't have anything common. I don't know what's going on, folks. What are you talking about? Are you out of your minds? These individuals have nothing to do with the Negro experience. Let me explain. Because I've written about it. I've talked about it. For God's sake, please listen to me. When these individuals get tired, they can go back to Mexico. They have a culture, they have a community, they have a country, they have all of these things. None of these people were put in the fields picking cotton. None of these people were transported by boat, and here have they've gotten. None of these people have been lynched and castrated, burned alive, put on sex farms just to survive. I don't understand it. And yet, we have so many of them that want to attach themselves to the Negro experience. Why? Because some clown in a Power Ranger suit embracing a 12-tribe chart that has long been disproved as fakery, fuckery, and fraudulent. And suddenly, we have European Spaniards in our congregation claiming our position in the Negro nation. Have you lost your minds? Do I need to remind you what these individuals do to Negroes on their off time? Do I need to bring up certain aspects of the Hispanic Latino culture when it comes to Negroes? Do I have to talk about Afro Latinos, Afro Hispanics suffering in these Latino countries at the bottom of the barrel as racist as hell? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And again, I'm going to say this pointedly so that each who might be listening understands what I'm saying. You come at me with this energy when I talk to Negro exclusivity, but you keep your rancid ass pale mouths shut in the face of white supremacy. That's what you do. You let a Negro not include you, and suddenly you got a whole lot to do. Suddenly you're in my conversation. Suddenly you want to be part of the Negro nation. Suddenly you're a Hebrew too. Listen, fool, we don't know you. And I've got the receipts. I don't know what it is Negroes are on when it comes to this inclusivity they spawn. These people don't like you, man. Let me say it one more time and show you again. These people don't like you, man. I don't care what he's done for black people. His people are not our people. This is a descendant of Spain. This is a descendant of the Spanish Inquisition. Does he have hair of wool? Does he have burnt bronzed skin? Then what the hell are Negroes doing letting him in? And I don't care what you think about it. I truly believe, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. Hebrews are Negroes only. Now, again, you can be grafted in. You can cling to Negroes and save your skin. But Negroes are unique. Our experiences are unique. Our way of doing things is unique. Everything about us is unique. And they want so badly to glom on to the Negro experience that they have other Negroes inviting these individuals in our orbit as if they belong. And let me tell you, those Negroes are wrong. We are not the same. You know what I constantly tell these individuals? Go talk to people that look like you. Go tell them all what they need to do. But don't you tell a Negro where his place is. You stay your ass out of Negro faces. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. We deserve to have our thing. At least one thing. And it's so frustrating to find Negroes that want to invite other nations into our experience where they do not belong. And that's just as plain and simple as I can put it, folks. And listen, I, I'm a civil person. I am a cab driver. I see a multitude of ethnicities all day, driving them to their destination safely. And I am cordial, polite, and there is not a single individual that can't say I do right. Well, maybe one, but that's another story. I treat everybody with the same respect. I treat everybody as they expect to be treated within the confines of my automobile. As I take them from point A to point B, I make them feel as welcome and as warm and as fuzzy as I possibly can, because that's just who I am. I can be civil, but civility has nothing to do with reality. Civility and cordiality are diametrically opposed in certain circumstances. In other words, I know how people generally feel about the Negro, and so that's how I go. And you're not going to convince me, you're not going to convince me that these individuals who descend from Spaniards and Latinos and straight haired, white skinned Europeans are somehow the friends of Negroes I'm seeing, because they're not. They're just not. And let me tell you what goes on. This particular post that I made, it's never exposed as it's exposed when you say something that they don't think Negroes should say. And it's this point that they really let you see who they are. If I tell them, listen, Negroes are exclusive, Negroes are set apart, we don't have the same history, we don't even have the same heart. And then the ugliness of these individuals comes to bear, and they lay it straight out in front of me, and I see it right there. Their mouths run reckless. They start name calling. They start telling you what they really think about you. Have you ever been around Hispanics and Latinos? Because I sure have. Have you ever intermingled with the culture that is of Latino, Hispanic culture? Have you ever understood how ostracized Negroes can feel in that environment? Do you understand how racist these individuals truly are against Negroes? Because I do. I do. And so I refuse to be fooled or cajoled into thinking that these individuals are paths somehow linking. We don't share the same past. We don't share the same history. We don't share the same commonality. That is a totally different nation. Negroes are set apart, identified by two things the Creator has stated clearly and emphatically: hair of wool, skin of burnt bronze, which means, let me just expand on this thought. A Negro that happens to speak Spanish is not a Latino. A Negro that happens to be born in Latin countries speaking Spanish is a Negro that is scattered about the four corners of the earth as is prophesied by God Almighty. And again, I will say to you unequivocally, you just ask how they're treated in their country, and they'll tell you they're treated like a Negro. So please, I'm just imploring. If you have something you'd like to say regarding what I post, that's cool. But don't come off with this all inclusivity because I'll have you looking like a fool. I'm not the one. I do believe in Negro-centricity. I am Negro-centric. I am fully aware of our place here, and it's not enjoined with any other group of people. Not in the least. Now, natives aren't even paying attention to what we're talking about. The Hispanics and Latinos are one thing. Natives, and I don't call them Native Americans. I call them natives. Those that we consider and call Indians aren't even on the radar of this entire topic. I'm trying to figure out, I keep seeing these constant memes and posts about Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and natives. Natives aren't paying attention to this in any way, shape, or form. I've asked one or two, I've met quite a few. We're here in Arizona, we're surrounded by, I believe, 7 reservations, 7 districts. I've had to go on the reservation, and I have had the temerity and the gonads to ask a native, let me ask you about the association that you have with Negroes. And do you know they have one word in response? None. There is no association. We do not have an association with Negroes. So where are they getting this? Listen, the 12 tribe chart is fake. Hispanics, Latinos, and natives are not Negroes unless they are Negroes. I don't know how plainly and how clearly that point can be made. It's getting old to hear this over and over again. And today, I've had to go back and forth with individuals who claim to be our Hebrew brothers, and they are saying the most vile, putrid, racist shit I've ever heard. And these are supposed to be our Hebrew brothers. See, Negroes have no allies. All the nations came together and conspired against Negroes to put us into slavery. Do I have to say it again? Every nation came against Negroes and conspired to put us on plantations, conspired to have us picking cotton, conspired to have us whipped, hanged, and all the things Negroes have gotten. They've lynched us, they've burned us alive, they've castrated us. It's a wonder we survive. But I don't see Hispanics, Latinos, and natives included in that experience. I don't see natives, Latinos, and Hispanics having their history erased by the current administration. I don't see the aim straight between the eyes of these individuals and all that they've contributed to the making of this country. I don't see an erasure of their contributions. I don't see the concerted effort against them to make them a non-issue in this country. They're not aiming for Hispanics, Latinos, and natives. And you can stop. I will vote for Donald Trump. They turn on a dime. You remember that? Do you remember Donald Trump coming down the golden escalator and talking about how Mexico doesn't send their best people? Yeah, rapists and murderers, and some are good people. And now we have ICE going from place to place, doing everything they can to remove a brown face. That's not the same experience that Negroes are having. So please don't try the comparative. You'll only have me laughing. That's not the same thing. They're trying to clear the road and clear the field so that all the immigrants are removed in an attempt to put Negroes back in the fields. That's what they're attempting. But we don't have a commonality. There's no common denominator between Negro, Hispanic, Latino, and Native. Stop with the nonsense. They don't like us. And sure, you're not gonna agree with me. And I understand that. I'm not asking you to. What I'm asking you to do is to please let me have my conclusions be mine. And as I've said, what they don't do is they don't get in the faces of Proud Boys and Klansmen and white nationalists when they say something. You don't see Hispanics, Latinos, and white people and Jews glomming onto the social media posts of these individuals, trying their best to wag their wrinkled little frickin' fingers in their faces about all they're saying and all in their spaces. You don't see that. But what you do see is when a Negro says something that they don't agree with, they come in droves to try to attempt to correct our trajectory. And it's frustrating, it really is, because they keep their coward ass mouths shut in the face of white supremacy. The fastest growing neo-Nazi groups are in Mexico. And you'll notice, if I might expand on this a bit, is I got a few Jews coming into the room. A few Jews coming into my timeline. And you know what they say? You're not Hebrews. They just want I don't understand their intent. I know that I don't know where they've been sent. I don't know. But I've been dealing with that on this particular post as well. And I really don't understand. I can't really tell. But I wanted to get this out today. I wanted to get this out the way. I wanted to say all the things I'm saying because I wanted you to know that I'm not playing. I don't care about what you say on your posts and your timelines and your Facebook. You don't find Negroes going to the posts of white nationalists and Mexican nationals who are maybe prejudiced against black people. You don't find Negroes going and seeking out these individuals to shake our fists at them online and tell them, give them a piece of our mind. We don't do that. But for goodness sake, they can't seem to stay out of our faces. They can't seem to stay out of Negro spaces. They have to be included in our conversation, and some have to be a part of the Negro nation. And the reverse is not true. You don't see Negroes begging to go to the quinceañera. You don't see Negroes begging to be a part of the Hispanic and Latino culture. You don't see that. You don't see Negroes that don't speak Spanish just knocking on the door, trying to get in to see if we can see more. You don't see it. But we got an invitation going out through these camps to Hispanics, Latinos, and natives. Come on in. You're a part of the nation. No, they're not. No, they're not. I'll say it again. The 12 tribe chart is a goddamned lie. It's proven. When the Hebrew movement started in the early 19th century, there was no need for Hispanics and Latinos and natives to be a part of the Hebrew conversation because they had their own nation. And if you've read some of the things I've posted, you don't see them reaching out from across the aisle to Negro's hand with a wink and a smile, saying, "Come on over here, Hebrew brother. Let me pour you a drink and I'll give you another." No, no, they keep to themselves. And the outliers, those individuals that have had a swig of the Kool-Aid provided by camps like IUIC and Bishop Nathaniel, are alone in enjoining themselves with Negroes. They're on their own. Their families don't like black people. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What is going on? So I had to get out here and say something. That's right. I don't. I don't doubt that I've hurt feelings. I don't care. I don't care. When you get tired of the United States, you can go to Mexico. If you get tired enough, you can fly to Spain. If you're a native and you're sick of what the United States is doing, you can go to the reservation. You know what I'm saying? But a Negro is unique. Our experiences are unique. They're not attached to Hispanics, Latinos, or natives. That's a fact. We have nothing in common. It's all an act. And so I felt it necessary to do this show and get it out and invite whatever might come my way. If I, if you're interested in what I have to say, I suggest that you like, subscribe, and share this live, and pray that your Negro behind survive. Because when it comes down to it, when it gets right down to it, you're gonna look around, and you're gonna see these clowns leave you in the lurch. If it comes down between your Negro ass and their Latino family, you better be prepared to be by yourself. It's all for show. It's all for show. It's all to put us in some indebted position. This this is a caricature. This ain't real. That ain't real. That dude's not a Negro. He's not a Hebrew. I'd like to know which of his family members picked cotton. I'd like to know which of his family members were run down by Ku Klux Klansmen. I'd like to know. I know the sundowner towns, of course, included Hispanics, but we know that the sundowner towns were for Negroes. Which of their towns were put underwater? I'm just trying to figure out which of their towns suffered a Tulsa incident. Give me a break. I don't care what he's done. He's not a Negro. He's not a Hebrew. He's welcome to be grafted in. And whatever delusion he may be living, that's up to him. But if I have something to say and I'm trying to, stay out of the way, I advise you don't poke the bear, because you'll look up and there, well, I'll be there. That's all I really got, folks. I know that you're talking amongst yourselves. I see we got 74 chat comments. I can't imagine what poor Katrina is going through and trying to maintain order, but I will say it again. Hispanics, Latinos, and natives who are not Negroes are not Hebrews. 12 tribe chart is a goddamned lie. And if you're so hell-bent on what comes out of my mouth, try to correct me. No, don't even try. All right, folks. I just wanted to say that. I wanted to get that out. I wanted that to be out there in the air, because I'm sick of these individuals opening their mouths, and it's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating. Let me close with this. You don't get to tell Negroes about our experience. You don't get to correct Negroes about what we concern ourselves about ourselves with. You don't get to tell our story. Shut your goddamned mouth. You go talk to people that have an association with your history, your culture, your civilization, your country. That's what you do. You go stand amongst your own, and you leave Negroes, what I call, the hell alone. That's all I got, folks. I mean, I can't expand on it enough. And yes, I know that this particular talk was rough. But in closing, these are not Negroes, and therefore they're not Hebrews. And I don't give a damn what anyone says regarding this. I know the history of folks like this, and they don't like us, and they never did, and they never will. And so, whatever delusion they've got, let it go on still. All right, folks, that's all I got. I wanted to get that out, and hopefully, maybe tomorrow I will have the intended talk I was intending on doing. I hope your day I have not ruined, but I appreciate you tuning into my live. Please like, subscribe, and I'm glad you survived. You guys have a wonderful day.